Hello, welcome pen friends. I just can't stay away. Back with another video, and this time it's sort of a wrap-up to the 30 Inks 30 Days Challenge. I promised to come back and show you what the envelopes did, so we're going to do that. And then I just thought I would, kind of show you what some of this challenge, kind of what it inspired. And I want to talk about what I liked about it and what was challenging and my biggest challenge and stuff like that. And then at the end, I want to talk about what's next, what I've been kind of cooking up in the back of my mind as, the direction to go in next with ink reviews. So welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So first, I think we'll start with these envelopes because we were all kind of waiting on seeing this. On day 13, I started writing the writing on the two envelopes, the Clairefontaine Triumph envelope. That's kind of a pricier stationery envelope. That's really high quality and made for fountain pens. And then this is the cheaper kind of a security envelope. It didn't hold up real good, but that you can get like for a couple dollars for 150 of them. So this is what happened, and it's very interesting. You all saw it. Anybody who saw the other video, day 30 video, which I'll link here, you saw when they went in, it kind of looked like the cheap one was gonna retain lots and lots more. And in some ways it did. If you notice up at the top there, day 13 was Diamine Majestic Blue, and it shows up, or it stayed better on the cheaper one than it did on the Clairefontaine. You can see it up there on the Clairefontaine envelope, but barely. And so that kind of held true down here too for Diamine Arctic Blue. You could just barely see it above the red 17 there. You could see where that ink was. But clearly there was a big difference, in how the envelope held up. My goodness, and we'll look at that a little closer in a minute. But right here you can see Aurora Blue also stayed showing better on the cheaper envelope. And these inks, most of them are not permanent. You can tell which ones are. Right away you could tell that Diatramentus Fog Gray looks like I just wrote it. See right there. And I had written it in a broad nib and the Japanese fine nib from the Pilot Metropolitan. So that was really interesting. I'm working around a tripod, so this is a little funny. And then, of course, Noodler's Mask. That's definitely, bulletproof ink. And then we get up into the Papier Plume Bootlegger Sacrament, which is very highly ink resistant, but it definitely looks different. It didn't retain its true color, which was, if I remember right, it was sort of a deep maroon kind of a plum color, something like that. But Diatramentus Fog Gray and Noodler's 54th Mass, they retained their color. Oops, let me hold that up a little. They retained exactly how they looked, so they're definitely waterproof, bulletproof inks. And then Krishna Black Rose, you could still read it, so it has quite a bit of resistance there, but it doesn't retain its full color either. So very interesting, I thought. But let's look at the envelopes, let's look at them, how they came out. Now this envelope, had it been dropped in water like that, would still be usable. It's all intact. I mean, I'm sure that probably did a number on the... Oh no, the sticky still works and everything. So, you have an advantage with a stationary envelope like that. It's pretty nice. And then with this other one, it was toast. I mean, if I hadn't gotten it out of the water when I did, I'm sure it would have disintegrated because it just completely, it lost it. But, that's asking an awful lot to actually submerge the envelope. But our mail goes through a lot. And by the way, I wanted to just show you something. I'm not going to show the address of who sent it because this is just purely an odd thing. But this came today, and right away when you see these envelopes, it says, we care and we're sorry and we apologize that something happened. So things, our mail goes through a lot to get to us. It really does. And I'm hoping I'll be able to read this letter, but I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of piecing. I don't know where the other piece might be. So anyway, that's not, that's out of all the mail that we send and receive, it's almost all you know, gets to us good and everything, but that's the third one recently that I've gotten, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Things are maybe getting stuck or something happens with their machines, you know. Just maybe randomly I hadn't had luck like that before. So anyway, this is pretty interesting. I mean, you know, I'm thinking that we could all be real confident with the two, Diatramentus Fog Gray and Noodler's 54th Mass, even on a really cheap envelope. So that's kind of nice to know. But that leads me to my next point, though. I kind of picked a favorite and and a least favorite of the 30. So going through these 30 days, you know, it was a different ink every day. And this was my favorite. The Colorverse Gravity Wave just grabbed me. It just, oh, I had so much fun. It was horrible to have to clean out the pen and then go to the next day when I was using this one. And then this one really frustrated me the most, the Diatramentus Document Fog Gray. I love the color, and that may be why it bothered me so. And actually, the color is similar to Noodler's 54th Mass, and I found that in my case, in my particularness, I got along a lot better with Noodler's 54th Mass. So it's not like, you know, there's no milk to cry or spilled milk to cry over, but this was definitely my hardest day, was this one. And you guys saw it. I had to go ahead and clean out the Serendipity. That's the only day that I had to switch pens, because just to stay true to the challenge, one pen inked up with one ink, I ended up in that Metropolitan for the rest of the day, and I didn't have a good day. So anyway, that's how that went. So we'll put that one away. I don't have to look at that one anymore. But what this challenge did also was it inspired me. I'd already planned to get the Kaweco Ruby Red. So that I really wanted. You never want to go order one small item. You want to make your orders count and your shipping or your free shipping or however you do it. So I waited. So that one, you know, I already knew I loved. I loved too seeing it in the broad nib. I'd written with it in a medium. But I did buy a bottle of each of these. So I ended up getting the KWZ Thief's Red, which I'm just enchanted with that. I love it. And then I got, you know, the purchase that I kind of held off on. I got that one, the Kaweco Ruby Red. And I got... I went a little overboard. I got the Gravity Wave that came with the 2 bottles. Let's see, the little baby bottle that matches it is right here. So, you know, it came with the 2. And I just know that I'm going to really enjoy that. So, as much as I already have enough ink in this house, this is what happened to me with the challenge. And this is just the beginning, so... here we have it as true confessions, I guess. And then it went a little bit further, not much, but just a little bit further, because what I was doing, what I was really enjoying was seeing everybody's beautiful pictures on Instagram. So this would happen every day. I'd see these beautiful pictures. So I was placing this order, you know, and so I ended up getting samples. These are the samples. Let me hold it up. This is Monteverde Rose Noir. And I've got it written in my journal, you know, where I put it on my wish list. And then another one, Diamine Silver Fox. That's kind of a gray. And whatever artwork I saw, it made me just absolutely crazy over that one. Now this, I'm not quite sure. Blackstone Barrister Violet. I may have just seen this while I was, you know, perusing around, because I couldn't find it on my wish list. But I have been a little, you know, harebrained lately, so who knows. But there's that one. And then a Diamine Lavender, another mystery one. You know, I don't know how these ink samples get in the card. I really don't sometimes. Okay, this is another one, Platinum Lavender Black, that I did see someone's beautiful art. And in a minute, we'll take a look at that list. Maybe I can remember who it was. You know, I think I jotted it down. And then here's another one, Mont Blanc Lavender. Oh my, I saw that and went crazy. I can't be trusted around ink samples. And then this one is, I think I'm in good company though here. I really, you know, I'm not thinking you're gonna freak out over me. The Pelikan Edelstein Topaz. Oh, I'm a sucker for any kind of turquoise or, you know, bright blue like that. So there I went. And then this ink here, the last one I'm going to show you, this one was on my wish list, and a viewer saw it, and I showed you the other day the little packet with the wax and the little bottle of this that she sent me. So this was a gift. But oh my goodness. So this is just sort of the beginning. And then I noticed I still have some notations here. It's a real mess, but pardon the mess because I forgot that there'd be bleed through and everything. So I noticed I still have Diamine Blue Velvet. That came from at Elkska Pen Company, or, you know, someone who is doing beautiful photography, and there you go, you see the beautiful ink, and I put it there. And then KWZ Hawaii Blue. Oh, and that's that same person. Huh, interesting. Maybe even a viewer, but I'm not sure, because I get a little scrambled up about names and, you know, who's who, until I truly, really determine, you know, who's who. With the names and we all have kind of funny little Instagram handles. And then here's another one, Diamine Mediterranean Blue, is still on the list. Birmingham Pens Tarnished Nickel. Ooh, that was pretty. I still have the memory of it, but I don't know, can't remember who had that. Maybe somebody that's watching. Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red was Nicole's idea or suggestion. I can't remember whether it was on this channel or on Instagram. And then Monteverde Capri Blue. It seems blue comes up a lot. That was Yafa Brands Official. A lot of people participated in this. And then KWZ Gray Plum from Marta here on the channel. That was a neat suggestion. Oh, and I'm label maker, odd things. Robert Oster Bronze is another one. I wrote it so fast I didn't even write who had it. And I got some coffee filters. So that was kind of messy to look at, but that's part of where the challenge took me, was to being sort of organized about samples. And then I had a real freak out, which I'll save for the end, where I counted every sample in this house. Oh, you're not going to believe the number. But anyway, so I loved getting to spend a lot of time with each ink, and I always love writing with this pen. I've still got Monteverde Mandarin Orange in it today. In fact, I did another dip because I loved the ink so much, and there was no requirement to whittle down to just one, so I stayed with that ink today. Whoops. Well, we don't want to focus. Oh, that's a shame. There. Okay, I'm being too close, I guess. But so I enjoyed this pen very much, and I started out in the medium nib, but I really wanted to see the inks in the broad nib, because that's what I write letters with. So that's how that kind of evolved, you know. And I'll still be working with that quite a lot. So I love seeing everybody's pictures, and obviously I was just so inspired. Not that I think that I can draw the way some of these folks did. You know, there's some beautiful artists that come on there and do stuff on, you know, put their art on Instagram. But these are beautiful colors, and it's almost like color therapy to me. So I just was excited, thought I'd show you what I found. The other thing I loved doing was all those color boards. That was so much fun. Just incredible lot of fun. And then let's talk about my biggest challenge, okay? My biggest challenge came when this arrived. Oh my goodness. How do you not ink up a new TWSBI that comes through the door? This is how it happened. Okay, I was going to do it. I thought, okay, I'm going to do it anyway, you know, make that my pen of the day, because there's no requirement that I would to stick, you know, to this one or to one pen. We were all allowed to have one pen inked up a day, and then we're to clean it out and start again the next day with either another pen or the same pen. But this is, you know, the TWSBI's, as most, I'm sure everybody here knows, this TWSBI's so well known, and I've done a lot of videos, but I was crazy about getting this beautiful blue one. It's just gorgeous. I kept taking it out, looking at it, thinking, if I put ink in this, there's no way I'm going to take the ink out. I know I'm not going to do it. So I kept telling myself, I'm not going to, you know, put a little in and then write with it only one day. I wouldn't be able to do it. So it was easier to just get it out every night and, you know, handle it and photograph it and look at it and stuff. And so now, this has been an incredibly busy day fixing my mom's Final Guardian papers and running errands, or I would already have ink in this pen. And I'm really, really thinking that I'm going to go with this because I have enough of it. I got 2 samples that are 3 mil. And I don't know, you know, I don't have to have an exact match, but I think that's just really pretty. I should have kept it out while I was doing that. I think that would be really pretty. I don't know. It's some way to try it. I haven't even tried it in the Serendipity yet, but, you know, this ink. So, wow, exciting. Anyway, the challenge, you know, was won, and many, many of us completed it, so it was exciting. And now I get to ink this pen up today, so. But that was a big challenge. That was like, I kept on trying to think each day, well, okay, maybe today I ought to, you know, because I think it was about a week left in the challenge, something like that, when I, you know, I ordered it on the 15th, and I got it a few days later, so it was just torture. So anyway, no more torture. There's that. So, okay, I think we covered an awful lot, but I did want to make one comment. I wanted to give a really big, like, I've said this all through the series, but this paper, this CVS Caliber paper is incredible. And I recognized and I noticed that there wasn't quite as much shading in some cases, but I could live with that. Nothing bleeds through this. There's a couple smudges on the back that had nothing to do with the ink, and they're very minor. They weren't to do with the ink on the front. It was to do with me. At first I was propping things down too soon, but this paper, if you don't already have some, is just incredible for the price. You know, like 150 sheets for $3, and if you do the CVS Pharmacy kind of thing where they have the coupons, you can walk out of there with it for almost nothing. And it's just, it's incredible. It's worth talking about. And there are people that I write to that I write a lot, and it just isn't practical to write, you know, and scribble and do little drawings and do, you know, on the really, really expensive paper, except for when it's going to be a nice special letter and it's a couple pages. That's, you know, so I find myself using this a lot. And I thought everything, whoops, let me see, everything looked good on it. And nothing bled through, which we did have bleed through on the permanent inks, and some of the, even the non-permanent bled through other papers. But, and I'm not going to re-review everything. I just thought I'd mention that because that was just darn incredible, that's all. So, let's talk about what's next. I've been giving it some thought, and I've got lots of ideas, but last night I went into my ink journal, and what I did was I realized, okay, when this started, I asked myself, what was I doing? What was I working on? And what had just happened was we had just gotten our ink flight. So it was ink flight number 20, September, you know, and then we started this, we started the challenge, and then ink flight came a few days later, and I did a video on it, kind of rushed and everything, but I hadn't gotten it in my bullet journal, ink journal, and I had not come back to revisit the inks here, which is what I like to do. But now I have such a better way of doing that because I really like how it went, and a lot of you have given feedback that you like seeing the color boards and the review, you know, seeing it on a different paper, which that helps me because, you know, I would just be talking to myself if it wasn't helpful or useful at all. So this is my plan. This will probably be my next segment. Will be taking these inks one at a time, but we already covered, let me hold this up a little. We already covered the J. Arbonne Rouge Granat. I don't know, I freeze. I know how I'm supposed to say it, but I do freeze. Because I know it's like Moulin Rouge. So maybe that's how it's supposed to be said. Rouge Granat. Anyway, but right away I did find out one thing. I have nothing that compares to this ink here. It's a coral, light coral peach kind of color. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what I'll compare it to, but I like a good challenge. I don't mind a challenge. So that may or may not be first, because I may have to think a little longer about what am I going to compare it to. Everything else, there'll be enough little samples in this house to make a nice color board. So I'm not going to talk about timing, but when I come back with another video, it's likely to be as I work our way through these, with the exception of the one we did, because that was day 28 that we covered that one. And you know what's interesting is I just got my notice today that the new Inkflight, you know, my purchase has been confirmed, so it won't be long before that comes. So when we start talking numbers in just a minute, which, you know, after you hear it, you may want to send me to a 12-step program or something. But anyway, after you hear that, then it's going to add 7 more when that comes in. So, but so that's where I want to go with it next. The other thing I want to do is a full ink journal so far walkthrough, and there's more in here now, so it seems more you know, interesting, because even just the segment between here and here is all the 30 inks, 30 days, and I wanted to talk about tap-ins and how I'm getting over that business of whenever it's messy. Like right now, you know, I kind of was real squirmish about showing you this mess here. But I have an artist friend who's shown me her beautiful reworks of old calendars. And I'm trying to get over the idea that anything is ever ruined. It can always be repurposed, covered, fixed, changed, modified. You know, that's what art's all about. So I don't want to be so, you know, shy about showing what's going on in here, even if it's messy, because it's a learning experience when you find out that something bleeds through and ruins the next page. That teaches us, you know. So so there'll be that, and then after that, I've got just so many. Let's see if I can get over there without landing on the table. So many that have been, you know, ink samples in-house. Which leads me to the final thing that I guess I don't want to say, so that's why I've taken so long, that I can group and do little by little, and since I just love doing it as much as you guys have said that you like watching it. Oh, look at that. I couldn't help it, but that's, you know, that's the kind of example. That's how my eye works. I like to group things together that are like items and stuff. So, I guess that leads me to the very last thing, which, like I said, I counted up all my ink samples because I was getting a little frustrated about how come I wasn't finding enough storage space. I've got so much storage space. And even during this, the 30 inks, 30 days challenge, I was getting in, you know, wonderful pen mail that kind of corresponded with the 1-year anniversary. People were just showering me with things, and I love it, and I love every ink sample. So I don't want to have them rolling around or unaccounted for, or, you know, disorganized, or 2 of the same one and not realizing that I do have it. So what I did was count them, and I started to strategize. So here's the number. Oh my goodness! 264. No wonder I'm having just a teeny little problem with keeping, you know, enough storage for my purple, because you guys that know me, but some people may be getting on here that don't have a clue about it, but, you know, I have all my purple in one of these shell casing, you know, boxes, and as you can imagine, I haven't refiled everything yet from this 30-day challenge. So I started thinking, what am I going to do? I'm not going to buy more of those. An ink sample is supposed to be tested and tried. And you know, you're supposed to use the ink. You're not supposed to just hoard it. So this is one of my solutions. Let me pull it over. And this is just a brand new idea. We'll see how it goes, and I'll let you know. But I got these. These were just at the Dollar Tree. So I thought, well, this was my idea. I thought, I love to do art, and some of my samples are shimmery inks that I don't particularly care to write with in my pens, but I just love to paint. And when I'm painting and doing mixed media, I like to do those artist trading cards, but I'm a little shy about those too, because I'm shy about how my art turns out. But anyway, I'm going to put in here some of those little samples that I know I don't want to write with in my pen. And then I thought some of these samples really don't have enough where I want to try to fill a cartridge converter even, but I can still dip the Serendipity. So I'll put those in the letter writing. You know, like, let's say I know, okay, I've done this sample, and this isn't a good example, but I've done this sample. I know what it looks like. It's well documented in my ink journal. So I'm going to use it for letter writing because I know I'm not going to buy a bottle or whatever, and I'm all set. But I would enjoy, because some friends like colors that I don't even really care for that much, so it's interesting. So then over here, pen friend share. It does truly come up sometimes, not too often. I have been extremely blessed with not receiving duplicates because, well, a lot of people know what I have because I come on here and share every single sample I have and, you know, talk about it. So that's one reason, whereas I don't always know what people have when sometimes I have to ask, you know, do you have this ink, or, you know, because I'm not sure. So this is a start. I thought of about 3 more categories after, but I'm really excited because this will help relieve the storage where I'm really truly still processing an ink sample through and working with it. And I'm going to refile all the ink flights, so that I need space in there for those, because some of the ink flight samples I've not yet written with for a whole day. Like, that's what the beauty of this challenge was. It was amazing for that. It was just, you know, it really made me focus, and it made me realize that even using one ink and one pen, days get busy and you don't get to do as much writing as you'd like. But if you're using 10 pens, you know, then you're definitely not, it's definitely like a built-in deficit of attention, because you're not really, you know, getting familiar with how that ink works in that nib, unless you're spending more time with it. And I am flighty. I do tend to love samples because I can always change, I can always get another new color, and I'm always, you know, switching, and that's, you know, that's just something that the way I am, and it's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, ooh, I think I've talked your ear off now plenty, and I don't know how long this will take to upload. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me through the whole challenge. It was so much fun in so many ways. I hope I've captured some of that here. And I'm just going to say real quick, so that I'm going to link down below, Ink Journal's having another challenge, and I'm participating in that. I put it in here. I made a little, so this is their little, you'll see it when you follow the link. They have a little prompt for each day. It's 3 words that you turn into a sentence. So you use your fountain pen and your ink, and you make a sentence out of these words. And some of them are very challenging, but it'll be fun. It'll really be fun. And I'm talking fast because I'm going to run out of filming time, I think. So this one that I made with that Clairefontaine paper is going to be my little daily, this is my gratitude one over here. It's a log and jotter. And over here will be my daily little prompt. And I'm just going to keep it here. I mean, my pictures aren't fancy for it because this paper, the lines do show, but I'm trying to repurpose, and you could tell all my money goes to ink, it seems like. So so it's good though. I like it. It's you know, it's for the season. It's for October, the whole month. There's 2 of these, and you'll see it if you link to what I'm going to put down below. I'm just, you know, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just really enthusiastic about the things that they offer in the community building, because I've made new friends and seen all these beautiful artists and artwork and stuff, and you can too. You know, it's really fun. So I'm going to say goodbye so that I don't have to redo this video, because I could see that I probably have to do some file transfers before I lose, you know, the ability to record more. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.